All right, let's get practicing in QuickBooks Online. Grab the link below in the description so that you can follow along. All right, here we are in the QBO gym. And the QBO gym is a place where we have numerous exercises that simulate real life scenarios that you may encounter as a bookkeeper. Every single month, we come out with new exercises and we break it down for you into 4 different sections. So today, we are going to be working in the November strength training section where we really focus on customization. At the top here is a little animated video to give you an idea of what you're going to be doing for Craig that month. He is our fictitious business owner. Further down is an interactive quiz to test your knowledge as it relates to the video up above. And then further down are all of the exercises within this section. So today we are going to practice customizing invoices. You will need to be in the sample company to do this exercise. If you have not been if you don't know how to get into the sample company or get your own free QBOA account, go ahead and click on the link below in the description. Our scenario today is that Craig has been using QBO for a while now, and although he likes it, he wishes he could change a few things to better suit his business. For example, he would really like to have his logo show up on his invoices and make those invoices match his company colors. So let's see how to do this. To complete this exercise, you will need a copy of Craig's logo. You'll need to click on the link underneath the strength training video to grab a copy, as we'll need it for this exercise. So let's go back into the gym and do that. If you scroll to the top here, here is the animated video. Underneath there is a button that says Craig's logo. Go ahead and click on that so it begins to download for you. To get started with making the customization, we need to click on the gear icon and then select Custom Form Styles. So here I am in the sample company. This is the dashboard. At the top here on the right-hand side is the gear icon. Underneath your company, click on Custom Form Styles, and you will see one default style appear for you. So what you are editing here are all of the client-facing forms that go out, which are the invoices, the sales receipts, and estimates. At this point, you have an opportunity to edit the default standard style, the one that's showing up there now, or to create a new one. If you create a new one, you must choose between one of the 3 forms that we mentioned up here and then edit them individually. For this exercise, we're just going to edit the default style. So go ahead and click on Edit to do so. That is over here on the right-hand side, that blue edit link. Click on that to see the current invoice form appear up here for you. So the first thing that we want to do is edit the design. QBO has several pre-formatted styles to choose from. So click on Dive In with a template to see what those are. This what mine had said change up template. Sometimes the wording changes here in the sample company, so that's okay if it's a little bit different. What you wanted to do was click on template. We will assume that you checked with Craig and he said that he liked the bold style best, so go ahead and click on bold. That is over here on the right-hand side, and you will notice that when you do that, that the preview has been adjusted based on what we had clicked on here. As we go through this exercise and we click and we do customization, you will notice that changing as well throughout, that this will change throughout. So next we want to add Craig's logo. To do that, we want to click on Make Logo Edits. That's right here. And then we want to click on this Add a Logo, click on that little icon. You will get this little pop-up, click on the plus right there. And when you do, you will need to search in your files, probably your download file, for the logo itself. Mine happens to be right here. You may need to do a little bit of searching in your files to do that, but I have mine already here. So go ahead, once you find it, click on the logo itself and then click on Open. And when you do that, it will start to download for you. So we've done that step 6 and 7, and now we're on to 8. And once you see the logo show up here, you know that it has been downloaded. So then you can go ahead and click on the green Save button. And when you do that, you will notice that not only has the logo been added here, but all of the colors based on that logo, the color scheme has been updated for you. So it will only do this the first time that you upload the logo. So don't close out the custom form wizard without saving. You will lose all of your work. So Craig only asked to update the colors and the logo, but there are other customizations that we can make here that would be helpful. So let's take a look at those. We're going to click next on the content tab, which is right here in the middle. You'll notice that the content is divided into 3 different sections. So we're going to look at the first section first by clicking on that top section anywhere. You kind of see if you highlight or if you scroll over it, you see there's 1, 2, 3. We want to look at this first top one. So go ahead and click anywhere on that top section to see all of the different things that we can edit on there. So Craig does not want customers to contact him directly if they have an issue with their bill. They should be contacting their sales rep for that. So he'd like you to remove the email address. He does, however, want to display his website. So we're going to uncheck email and then click on the plus website. So uncheck email right now. As you can see on the preview, it's showing up right there now. If we uncheck it, you see it disappears. Let's go ahead and add that website by clicking on the plus website. And then we're going to go ahead and add it in, which is www.craigslandscape.com. And then we're going to make sure that we click on the checkbox so that it appears on the form. So go ahead and click into the box, type in www.craigslandscape.com. And once you type it in, make sure to click on that box and you will see that it is now showing up here on the preview. Now let's take a look. I'm sorry. Before that, note that you have an opportunity to manage custom forms or fields here. Please do not click on this. Your work will not be saved. We will add custom fields in the next exercise. So that is all the way here at the bottom. Don't click on this link. We will do that in the next exercise. But it is good for you to see kind of if you scroll all the other things that you can add to this top section here. Well, we want to move on to the middle section of the content. So let's go ahead and click anywhere in that middle section. Go ahead and do that. And now we have switched over and you can see all the different things that are showing up here. Date, product, service, description, quantity, rate, and amount. If you look over here though, it says date, activity, activity. Those are just kind of fill-ins for that. So we want to make sure that we are updating that. But first, let's go ahead and see one more thing that you have recommended to Craig is to include the balance forward for all invoices so that customers can see the status of their accounts. So we want to do that first. In the account summary section, we're going to click on show on invoice. That is over here. Show on invoice. When you do that, you see now that count summary has showed balance forward, new charges, and then the total amount that is due. Now we want to go ahead and edit those 2 columns that say activity. Let's do that by clicking on Edit Labels and Widths. That is the blue link right here. When you do that, it just shows more information. These are the current labels of the columns, and then this is the width of the columns itself. So let's go ahead and change activity and activity. The first one should be item, and then the second label should be description. So let's highlight and delete this first one so it says item. And then over this one, we're going to change that to description. There we go. And again, once you make those edits there, they have changed here. If you need to change the column widths, you can always use these sliders to just see how it looks on the preview. Maybe you need more room for description and less for date. You can make that adjustment here. There are other things that we can control as well. So we're going to click on show more activity options to see what those are. That is down here on the bottom left corner. It's a link. I don't know if you can see where my picture is, if that covers it, but there is a link down here that says show more activity options. When you click on that, that makes room for or shows up other things here as well. Other options here are such as grouping, collapsing rows, and more. Feel free to play around with this with these settings as you desired, but for the purposes of this exercise, we're going to move on to that third section. So click anywhere on that third section to make it editable. And when you do, you see those couple new things that can be adjusted for here. So in this section, you can control what appears on the bottom section of the sales form, and you'll note that you can have different information on invoices and sales receipts than you do on estimates. That would be right here. It says invoices and other sales forms, and then estimates. So you can always make that adjustment if you need to. So the first section displays what appears in the memo field of the sales form. Of course, this can always be changed on individual transactions. Anytime you're in a transaction, you can always edit over what this is, what this template is, just like most things in QBO. So let's add a footer text. In the footer box, we're going to enter "Thank you for your payment" and then change this font size to 10. So click into that box. Thank you for your payment, I think is what I just said. Thank you for your payment. And then we're going to change the size here by clicking on the little arrow so that it's 10 and it's a little bit bigger. And if we scroll down into the preview, you can see that it says "Thank you for your payment," that footer text that we just added here. Now that we have edited the design and the content, let's take a look at the emails that are sent to the customers. To do this, click on Emails, that last tab at the top here. So here you must design each individual sales form. You'll notice from the preview window, however, that the logo and color scheme have transferred from the previous work that we've done. This is great because then you don't have to build them all from scratch. For the purposes of this exercise, we're only going to be dealing with Craig's invoices. As you can see, there's that drop down here to change it for invoice, estimate, and sales receipt. You may have different messages for each one, so QBO is really great in giving you that option to make the adjustments. But we're going to leave it as is for invoice so that we're only working on that one. First, we need to decide whether we want all of the invoice details in the email itself or whether we just want summarized details. So we're going to click on Full Details and notice how it changes in the preview window. Right now, it's just showing as summarized. If you click on Full Details, you can scroll down and you can see all of the information. If I change to Summarized Details, it doesn't have any of that there. It just has the amount right there. That we can, print or save. But if you have the full details, it's within the body of the email itself. In this section, you can also decide to attach a PDF version of the invoice. This can be helpful if customers want to print it out for their records or attach it to another online filing system. If you do not click this, then the customers would just have to click on the button to their invoice to get that. So when using a greeting, you will need to make sure that the customer records are filled out accurately. Display name is a required field for all customer records, and so it would be the safer one to use for this field. However, sometimes the display name is the company name and sometimes it is the person at the company. So you just want to make sure that it's consistent so that the emails are professional. For right now, on the cross from use greeting, we're going to select display name, which is right here. So what happens is that the email will automatically generate the name. That's what this purpose is, that greeting. So right here, it says, "Dear," whatever the name is. Right now it's selected as full name, but we're going to change this to display name. So click on that, and now that's adjusted there. So let's say that the customer display name is, Bob Smith. Then it would say in here, "Dear Bob Smith." So it just pulls that information in so that you have the name here. That's why it's really important to make sure that everything is consistent when you are doing that. And you have the option here to change whichever field you want it to be pulling from that customer record. So you'll note that the message to the customer is the default email. You can always change the actual text of an individual email when you are sending. This is just the default. The sent email is not saved anywhere, however, so do not include anything that you do not want to maintain, that you need to maintain a record of. So here's that custom message right here. As you're sending out invoices, again, you can always customize it individually based on what what it is that you were sending, but that is the default that will show up every time you're sending an invoice. So finally, you can change the default text of any reminder emails that are sent. So we're going to click on the reminder email dropdown to see what those options are. That is down here at the bottom. I'm not sure if you can see with the picture, my face right here, there is something that says reminder email. Go ahead and click on that. And when you do, there is a standard message that once again is showing up. We are all finished now with customizing Craig's invoices. So in order to save it, all you need to do is click on done. So click on the green done button right down here. And now that is it. You have now saved and changed custom forms for invoices. And if you have any questions or want to know more about the QBO Gym, just go ahead and click on the link below in the description. Be sure to leave this session of the sample company open, as you will need it for the next exercise in the strength training section, where we practice setting up custom fields. And I will see you in the next video.